Hi, I'm Zach Fagenson with Miami Today, and I'm here at our offices on Brickell Avenue for an interview with the chairman of the United States Export-Import Bank, Fred Hochberg. Mr. Hochberg was appointed to the post about a year ago by President Obama, and since then he's been working to both staff his office and also meet the president's goal of doubling U.S. exports over the next 5 years.
Yeah, Exports Live we launched last fall in New York. It was the first, we did our out-of-town try-it on Broadway. We went to 8 cities in the fall. So far this year we've been in Cincinnati, Madison, Wisconsin, and Minneapolis. We're looking to do a total of 24, so we're about halfway done. Not that we'll stop, but the point of those is, you mentioned our annual conference. A lot of people traveled to Washington. We had over 1,200 people. I interviewed Jeff Immelt. We had a number of CEOs there. But we also want to go local. And by going local, we can, as pick up what you said, understand some of the local marketplaces. We did an Export Live event in Houston. Not surprising, a lot of people in the oil and gas business. We do an Export Live event here in Miami. A lot of people doing business in Latin America. We did one in Boston. There are a lot of people in renewable energy in the tech industry. So we do. That's the reason for going local, is to understand those local markets and do some. We actually do one-on-one counseling at these events. So at the end of there's a presentation from a few federal agencies. We usually have a presentation by 2 to 4 small businesses that describe what they've done, so business owners in the audience can hear a case study essentially, have a keynote speaker, and then we do one-on-one counseling. So if you've got a small business, you can go in and say, I want to talk to someone in commerce. You know, here's my idea, what do I do next? And they'll advise you where to go and really cut through a lot of the red tape and speed you on your way. I would say one, the Export Live is really just got started 6 months. To me, that's still new. Since it only began in October, I wouldn't call it old hat yet. And I think, as I mentioned, the solar project is a new project. We still need we have to execute that. The supply chain and factoring is going to come out this spring. So we've got a number of those sort of products that are coming out in terms of expanding our reach. I believe, having been a businessman, having run a family business for 20 years, that's where the job growth is going to come. And that's, as I mentioned, because banks deleveraging, the banks are really pinching their ability to get a hold of capital, that we're focused on that. And we're also, as I mentioned, when I talked about, more companies to more countries to more customers, the countries that we see great opportunities, we're trying to direct the attention of exporters to think more carefully about Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, Nigeria, South Africa, Turkey, India, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Jeff Immelt, when I interviewed him, said the big powerhouse and somewhat surprise of the last decade was Brazil. The question is, which is going to be the next, in 2020, what are we going to look back and say, which country really drove and surprised the world in its growth? Is it going to be Indonesia? Is it going to be Nigeria? Colombia? I don't know where it's going to be. But we want to sort of make sure that we're helping American companies sell those places, get a beachhead in now, so that as those countries grow, they're part of that growth.